Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch News. A federal judge in Idaho sided with environmental groups this past week on vacating permits for a phosphate mine in Bayer Ag in Idaho. On Friday, U.S. District Judge B. Lynn Windmill, a Clinton appointee, vacated Bureau of Land Management approvals for the new open-pit phosphate mine, the phosphate use permit, and rights-of-ways for a road, water pipeline, fiber optic line, and a power line. Windmill also vacated the agency's environmental review under the National Environmental Policy Act, saying the Bureau violated NEPA and FLPMA policy when it approved the mine without analyzing and restricting, mitigating, or eliminating effects to greater sage grouse, including harms to habitat and potential connectivity. Bayer says the ruling does not affect their current phosphate supplies, and they plan to file an appeal. Well, according to a recent study from an Italian research foundation and partly the U.S. Geological Survey, or USGS, grizzlies have been able to maintain healthy amounts of body fat despite declines in key foods such as elk, whose population has declined since the wolves were introduced in 1995, and the whitebark pine trees. Frank Van Menen, the USGS scientist and team leader at the Interagency Grizzly Bear Study Team in Bozeman, said the fact that they're still seeing similar body fat levels in these animals despite the huge changes in food resources tells him that it's not an issue of concern anymore. That statement alone is huge, especially when you consider it was the main reason for a federal judge's decision in 2009 to reject the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's first attempt to delist Yellowstone grizzlies. We need to take a break, but we'll be back with your ag markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back, friends, to your Ag News and your markets. A new quarterly report from Rabo shows that increased beef production in Brazil and Australia will likely offset production declines in the U.S. Overall, global beef supplies are expected to remain largely steady looking into the next 12 months. However, weaker U.S. exports are expected, largely due to those domestic production declines. As a matter of fact, USDA projects that an 8% production decline at 24.7 billion pounds could last into next year. This will likely lead into strength throughout the year and higher cattle prices. Well, cattle futures tried starting in third gear yesterday and ended up struggling out of the gate. However, midday they surged and spurred by the lower corn, as that allowed for triple-digit gains on the board and could help them on today's summer video kickoff. That, of course, is Superior Corn Belt Classic, where there's going to be 60,000 head offered. Looking forward also, we're going to see Northern Livestock Video early summer special kickoff on the 22nd. Now, speaking of Northern Livestock Video, they're currently also holding a BLS online-only timed horse auction going on right now. On the sheep side of the sales, Pay's first dual monthly sale of the summer saw buyers purchasing slaughter lambs with a preference for those heavy-muscled, bloomy lambs with lots of yield. For the feeder lamb buyers, on the other hand, well, they were willing to purchase some greener, lighter flesh lambs as the greener pastures are providing a little bit of optimism. Now, grain trade did dip a little lower yesterday as beneficial rains are helping boost crop conditions. Spring wheat planting also looks to be caught up as well and resulting in dime drops throughout the day. Well, that's all for Ag News and Markets. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.